talked with Teodora Bozheva, a well-known Kanban practitioner and co-author of the Kanban Maturity Model. What are the main problems of Agile initiatives?
I would prefer to talk about the problems that I have seen in the companies that I've been working with. And I would refer to the problems that these companies face and make them consider the usage of the Kanban Maturity Model. Okay, so I would say that the main problem is related to the inability of some organizations to adapt to very big changes, structural changes in the organizations, and to continue working well after some structural changes. And I have seen companies who had gone through 2 or 3 structural changes, which is really a severe, sometimes it's really a severe damage for the company, and it's difficult for them to continue working well, in the sense that people lose motivation and they do not feel like having energy and desire to take initiative and keep improving something in the organizations. And there's a second big problem which I would mention. This is introducing compliance to the selected method, not thinking on what outcomes they want to achieve out of this initiative. And after several years sometimes, because it really might take several years until the management gets tired of waiting to see some real improvement, effective improvements in the organization, and they decide to switch to a different approach to increasing their agility. And in such situations, typically organizations consider using the Kanban Maturity Model.
What is important to know about project and portfolio management with Kanban?
In my opinion, the most important thing that companies should know is that Kanban works very well for project organizations. We've been working with project organizations for more than 10 years already, and we have published a number of case studies. And really, Kanban helps enormously project organizations to manage their work in an effective and lightweight manner. So how to start with it? Well, usually the first point is to understand how managing the workflow helps and addresses all the challenges that project organizations face in their projects. And after that, of course, project organizations need to know how to construct the network of Kanban systems that helps them manage their projects. And well, last year we published the complete guide for project, program and portfolio management with Kanban. It is free to download, so I think this should be the right way to understand how they can use Kanban for managing projects and portfolio and what steps they have to do.
What are the similarities among the companies that start doing Kanban?
I would say that the common pattern is that these companies have always tried other agile approaches before thinking on Kanban. So usually they have tried other methods like Scrum or other agile approaches, and after I don't want to use the word failure, but some important challenges in the organizations, they consider using the Kanban method or the Kanban Maturity Model. And the main reason for this is the evolutionary approach to change. At some point, organizations decide that, maybe some significant changes in the organizations are difficult to carry on, and therefore they are looking for something more natural, starting where they are and evolving continuously. Another thing is that companies that we've been working with, they keep using Kanban not because of the method. In fact, we never sell the method. But companies keep using this way of thinking and managing work because it allows them to understand deeply how they work inside the organization and how they can identify where in their process they have to improve something in order to meet better the expectations of their customers.
the best way to do Kanban. Do we need a coach or consultant?
We have to be clear with the companies, with the organizations from the very beginning that if they really want to take advantage from using Kanban, they have to apply it. They themselves have to apply the practices and use the practices in their daily work. A coach, a consultant can help them, of course, in the beginning, especially when they have to design correctly their Kanban systems, their network of Kanban systems, when they have to define their policies, when they get the initial habits of working in a team, collaboratively, reading the Kanban board, applying, implementing the feedback loops. Of course, the Kanban coaches and consultants are helpful at these moments, but the organizations have to know that it's not the coach or the consultant who is going to do the work. They have to apply the work, and what is very important is that they have to learn from their experience. Then they are able to continue improving even if the coach is not there anymore. And it is then when they really achieve big improvements at business level.
What is the connection between capability maturity model integration and Kanban maturity model?
This is another of questions that I'm asked frequently, and I love it because people think that if CMMI and KMM are maturity models, so there should be some connections. Therefore, I would like to explain that when David and I started working together, we did not think at all on creating a maturity model. Our intent was to study the patterns of Kanban practices implementations in different companies and describe these practices in such a way that we can help other organizations, if they're interested, to see examples and see how they can apply these practices. And this is how we started to work together. However, gradually, we started seeing that the implementations of these Kanban practices describe different depths of understanding of the practices themselves, and also they were related also with different cultural values and different something that nowadays we would call maturity of the organizations. In fact, our work was mainly influenced by Jerry Weinberg's book, Quality Software Management. And David and I also knew CMMI at that time. I think I also know it now. And subconsciously, maybe CMMI influenced us in giving the name to the model, but because at some moment we realized that what we are describing, in fact, are different maturity levels of the organizations. So therefore, we called it Kanban Maturity Model. However, CMMI and the Kanban Maturity Model are quite different models. CMMI provides process improvement guidance to the organizations, and it describes process areas in different categories like engineering, process definition, support, project management, and the Kanban Maturity Model provides guidance for developing organizational agility. Okay, and also achieving a certain maturity level based on CMMI is made based on the characteristics of the different process areas. And achieving the maturity level based on the Kanban Maturity Model is determined using the outcomes the organization achieves by means of appropriately combining cultural values and management practices based on the Kanban method. The good point is that CMMI and the Kanban Maturity Model work very well together. So companies who come from CMMI can very easily start using ideas from the Kanban Maturity Model. They fit very well together, and they can take advantages from using both models, and vice versa. In fact, when I'm working with companies and we identify some weaknesses in their processes, although we are mainly using the Kanban Maturity Model, sometimes I take advantage from the guidelines provided by the CMMI. So they really work very well together.
What is the perception of Kanban before and after the training?
Well, people who come to my classes usually come with the idea that Kanban is just the visual board, or this knowledge about Kanban that it's about the visual board, and they are willing to learn more about the Kanban method. And what I love more is when they leave the class, they already understand that Kanban is a method that helps them manage their workflow, understand better how their processes work, identify, for example, bottlenecks in their workflow, learn how to resolve a lack of balance between demand and capability, or between the capability of different teams that are involved in the entire end-to-end workflow. And they're capable to make decisions and to really help their organizations improve their performance and meet the expectations of their customers. So usually in the beginning of the classes, we start with the idea, let's see what we can learn more about Kanban and what is the difference between this visual board and what the Kanban method says. And afterwards, after the class, they really go out with many action points to put in place the next day and to really help their organizations become better.